Guys, I know that there is no sound. That is on purpose. Ah! There we go. Tonight, we are going to be discussing, is it fair if a woman leaves a man, her husband, boyfriend, significant other, whoever? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to turn myself down. Why am I not? I have no idea where that's coming from. Holy moly. All right, guys. Be cool. Jesus Christ. I have no idea where this is coming from. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Nothing to see here. I see it right there. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Hang on a second. All right. Where the hell is it? I don't know where the fuck this is. Oh, you know what it's coming from? It's coming from D Live. That's where it was coming from. It was coming from D Live. So yeah, we're live all over the place, guys. We're live on YouTube. MGTOW.tv, Manosphere.tv, D Live, Facebook, and of course YouTube. We are going to open up the phone lines a little bit later to get your thoughts on whether or not you think it's fair that if a woman leaves a man after she loses weight. The 7 starts right now. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of The 7, sort of. Right now, we're actually missing Myron Gaines because he is having to source girls for his show tonight, and surprise, surprise, a few of them flaked. Minister Jap, it's his father's birthday today, so he is not going to be with us tonight. He's going to be spending time with his dad. So you guys are stuck with just the 5 of us. So let me go ahead and introduce tonight's esteemed panel. First up, Coach Greg Adams out there on the West Coast. How's it doing, man? How you going? How you doing, man?
Oh, good over here, man. Shout out to everybody in the panel.
The Coach Gang. Where did the Coach Gang thing come? Where did
somebody brought that up in the chat one day? You know, a lot of this stuff comes from the people. Somebody was like, Coach Gang, you know, they kept putting it in the chat. So there goes Coach Gang, just like that.
Good stuff, man. It's funny how things work. Next up, probably the smoothest dude on the panel. They call him the John B of the 7. It's Coach EO.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Good to be back. Out to the panel. I'm Coach EO.
Appreciate it, man. Next up, the man, the myth, the legend. This guy's been on Rogan. You've been on Rogan. You've been on CNN. You've been on Fox News. You've been on all the news channels, man. It's Hotep Jesus.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. I appreciate you, Donovan. Thank you.
Wait, you know what is funny? I actually thought that I didn't know that was like noise coming from you. I thought that there were people at your house. Last but certainly not least, man, it is Dr. BOA, Book of Alpharonomy. How's it going, brother?
Man, too much, man. The Dawn of the Alphasphere here. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. We're going to have a great show tonight. And when y'all call in, man, you know, talk to us like you got some sense, man. It makes sense so we can answer.
Real talk. Turn your volume up a little bit. You're a little, I'm having a hard time hearing you, so we should be good to go. All right, guys. So this topic is really not too complicated at all, man. So I released a video I did probably about, I don't know, maybe a year and some change ago, and decided to re-release it because I wanted to get everybody's take on this. The long and the short of it is this, a woman will lose weight, she'll get bariatric surgery, she'll get the lap band, the sleeve, whatever the case may be, she'll lose a bunch of weight, and then she'll end up leaving her husband. She'll end up divorcing her husband and going off and doing her own thing. Now, one might think, well, that's not fair, especially if the husband was there for her when she was a big woman, but all of a sudden she's a little thinner. Now she wants to go out and be single. Let me ask you first, CGA, because you had me, I almost hurt myself lifting weights listening to you talking about those gorditas the other day, man. Listen, I was in the weight room. I'm trying to deadlift, and you wouldn't stop talking about it. Man, it was funny.
Gordita.
I swear to. But listen, you're right about those gorditas, and I've never banged a gordita, by the way. I like the skinny Mexican chicks. So, what are your thoughts? Is it fair that women leave men when they lose weight, or is that just the game?
Well, I don't like the word fair because there's really no, you know, but I do think it is right that she should be able to do so. I mean, look, you took the substandard version of her and you set up under her right up there when she was putting her fat bear claw feet all up on your furniture smelling like corn nuts. You sat up in there and watched her digging her booty. You sat up there and watched her wear them big old Target, Kmart, period panties. You watched her do the worst absolute living in her possible life. And the minute she picked up and said, you know what, I'm going to make something of myself. All right. And you sat there and watched her turn her into a lump of lard and then into something good. All right. What else? She thinks you're a loser because you took her just like that. Now, you might think opposite. See, men have really misunderstood and mislearned women. We think that she's gonna give us some points for staying with a substandard version of herself,
Right.
when eventually she's basically gonna lose respect for you. And that's what she did. She looked at you and said, "Look, I was at my absolute worst, and you took me, and you took all kind of BS from me. You took the worst version of me, and now I'm at my best. The last thing I'm gonna do is give you my best when you would take me as an absolute gordita."
Oh my God.
All right, shout out to the gorditas out there. All right, but look, what guys have to understand is you got to relearn women. I always tell the guys on my show, you either love women or you understand them. You
That's
can't
right.
do both. I've chosen to live in understanding women.
Wow.
I'm gonna understand them to the point where love is not even a factor. All right, it's not even a factor, but it's going to eliminate me from the process of getting manipulated by women, because they only want guys that are going to love them. A woman will love to have you love her when she's fat, but you don't understand the bad part of it is if she ever gets skinny or she ever get fit, she going to bounce on you.
Real talk.
Or she could bounce on you. And that's just her exercise of her hypergamy. It's the same thing as guys. Look, if your woman was fit and she got fat, you should have the ability to go and find the fit version of her,
Right.
if she doesn't want to toe the line. So it's fair.
Okay. Something you just said there, I've never heard before. You either love women or you understand them, but you can't do both.
Can't do both.
That is, and you know, it's interesting. I always, when I talk about any man who truly hates women, is simply a man who does not understand women, right? If you,
I think so, yeah.
if you understand women for who and what they are, you're not surprised when they pull these kinds of things. But you either love women or you understand them. That is a very interesting dichotomy. I think I agree with you on that.
And people who hate women, supposedly hate women, it's because they really want women. You know what I mean?
Of
They
course.
really want them the way that society has. Like, society has changed and women have changed, and I've changed right along with them. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna, if y'all want to be 304s out here and pass out peace leave like you passing out pancakes at IHOP, I'm gonna be right in line. All right, go ahead, and I'm gonna get me some. But don't ask me for nothing else, because I don't have to give it to you. And
There you
I
go.
understand you now. But if I'm one of these guys like, man, these damn women out here, they're hoes and we should hate them. And I'm like, why you hating them?
Right.
All right, just give them what they want and you move on with life. It actually makes it easier for you.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go BOA Hotep, and then I'm going to have EO hitting cleanup. So, Book of Alpharonomy, what are your thoughts on a woman who loses a lot of weight? All of a sudden, she gets more attention, she succumbs to the pressure, and she ends up leaving her husband or boyfriend, whatever. Now, I like what CGA said in that he doesn't like to use the word fair because life isn't fair. So what are your thoughts on a woman who loses weight and leaves her guy? Is this a good thing, a bad thing, or is it just her being a woman?
You know, when it comes to women, man, nothing they do is good or bad. It just is.
Right.
Like, it just is. And the guys have to take a deeper dive into the psyche of these scallywag bras. See, here's the thing about a woman. She can be at her worst, but when she becomes her best, the bra forgets she was at her worst.
Right.
Like, to her, she's always been her best, and it's all her fault that she's her best now. I don't care if you personal train the bra. I don't care if you cook her meals for her. I don't care if you put a funnel in her mouth and pour a gallon of water down her neck every day. She is still going to get to the end of the line and be like, look what I've done. Look what I've become. And here's how she views you. She looks at you and views you kind of similar to what CGA said. She views you as the guy who would be with a fat chick.
That's right.
She's not a fat chick anymore. And she doesn't want a guy who's going to be with a fat chick. Never mind, she was that fat chick.
That's right.
Like, women live in a fantasy world. And in a fantasy world, the ending can happen however you want it to. You can change the characters in a fantasy. You can be whatever you want to be in that fantasy and always have the end result you want. And that's just simply what it is. If you're with a woman when she doesn't look good and she isn't in shape, first of all, you're a sucker.
That's right.
Because it's better to be by yourself than be with a woman, man, that's repulsive when you look at her.
Real talk.
You're a guy who doesn't. We talk about abundance mindset, bro. You don't even have a scarcity mindset. You have a she's the only woman in the world mindset, and that's way deeper than just a simple scarcity mindset. So I think, man, she's well within her rights. It's just like using a man for money. I got a story I'm gonna talk about tomorrow on my show, man. It's a phenomenal story where this guy found out that the grass isn't green on the other side. And the matter of fact, Jezebel grass is never green. So when a woman uses you to come up, That's just what women do. Like, you're the type of guy that she can use to put herself in a better position. And when she's in a better position, she wants a better guy. It's real simple, man.
BOA, I've always said this, man. And I actually talked about this on my show. I think it was either yesterday or the day before. When a woman gets with you and she is overweight or she's ratchet, whatever the case may be, and then she loses weight, a lot of guys think, well, it's only fair that she stay with him if he helped her lose weight. And you nailed it right on the head, because she doesn't see, she's two different people. And as far as she's concerned, you're the guy who committed to a fat chick. She disassociates herself with that fat chick. She acts like she was never fat, acts like her shit doesn't stink. This is why women, when they lose weight, this is why they leave the guys that they're with, because you've already shown her that you are willing to commit to low value, overweight women. Why should it be any different when she actually loses the weight?
Let me tag one more thing on
Go ahead.
Donovan. Another thing is, now guys that wouldn't pay her attention when she was fat,
There you go.
even guys, you shouldn't have paid her attention, but guys who are situated, who are financially situated, who are in a position where they can make moves in their lives because they're in a position of power, now those guys are paying her attention. So not only is she looking at you as the guy who would date a fat chick,
Yep.
she's getting attention from guys who won't date
There
fat
you
chicks
go.
now. So you're done. It's over at that point, bro.
Yeah, listen, I could not agree more. Hotep, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's fair, unfair? Is that the wrong word to use? Or is it something, I don't know, that can be looked at from another perspective?
I feel like this story is being told backwards,
Oh, okay.
because usually she loses weight after you dump her.
Right. Right.
I always say if your chick is out of shape, cheat on her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or threaten to leave. Make her feel like you actually gonna leave. Because women are very competitive, so she's gonna get into her right body. If she's getting in shape while you're in a relationship, she's getting in shape to leave your relationship.
That's right. There you go. That's exactly right. Listen, I always say this. I actually said this in my Womanese course. If out of the blue, your woman starts to dress differently, all of a sudden now she's trying to lose weight. She's she all of a sudden now she's paying attention to what she looks like. She's not doing that for you, player. Like a lot of guys, they come home and they smash their wives and they're like, "Ooh, well, you're nice and smooth down there, right?" Well, not so much. It usually feels like sandpaper because it's the day after she shaved. Remember when she told you she had a headache? And then her peace leave now feels like it's a day after she shaved. She's not doing that for you, player. And it's just like, listen, it's just like Hotep said. If your woman starts losing weight without it, just out of the blue, she has 1 foot out the door, man. Let me come to EO with this one as well. I think I know where you're going to go with this. My thought.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, the guys made excellent points, and I agree with all of them.
Okay.
In my world, I'm better than her in every area.
Right.
I mean, I'm better looking. My body better. I sex better. Financially better. Just overall, I'm better than her. So if she knows that on a consistent basis, and just by being in my presence and every action that I take, it's just a reminder to her how dope I am, then it really doesn't matter what shape she gets in. And let me just also say this to you. How your woman looks should be directed by the man anyway. Like if she's big, like if she put on a few extra pounds, that's because you wanted to eat. Okay.
Right.
I wanted to eat this month. I wanted to go out and eat steaks and shit. And I said, "Hey, baby, you're going to eat with me." And I wanted it that way. Okay. I wanted it that way. So we both put on 10 pounds. I led that situation. If I want to lose weight, now she loses weight with me. So everything I do, she's do. Here's another thing. A lot of guys let their women go out to gym shit. Like, "Oh, go ahead, honey. Go work out at the fitness center." It's like, bro, you better get a Peloton for that bitch. You really at the end of the day, a boss has a home gym anyway. I don't go to a gym. I don't want to be around a bunch of sweaty meatheads and shit. I don't even want bitches in the gym anyway. I would never go to a gym looking for a bitch.
Right.
I'm there to get my work. They're looking for me. So, and this is my mindset. So I work out at home. if I'm with a woman, she's working out at home too.
Damn
You know, I
right.
got a home gym. We're gonna work out here. You got a Peloton or a fucking with that mirror or whatever it is. Go sit in front of the mirror and work out. But everything is gonna be based on my direction. So I'll tell her when to work out. Hey, today you're gonna work out, all right, for 45 minutes. If she's doing a lot of things on her own, then you're not controlling the situation.
you
And
go.
quite frankly, if you're gonna be in a relationship, how your woman looks should be up to you.
That's right. Your woman, in every sense of the word, is a representation of who you are as a man. If your woman is out of pocket, that tells the world that you have no backbone. If your woman is overweight, that tells the world you have no standards and that she's not adhering to whatever standards you think. I want to say a little over a year and a half ago, I did a video. The night before. Dev is stark naked, and I'm looking at her and I'm like, huh, you're actually not really looking quite as, I mean, she still looked all right. I was like, okay, well, let's find out what's going on. So I said, all right, step on the scale. She stepped on the scale, 135 pounds, 7 pounds overweight. So I told her, listen, we're not having sex until you get back down to 128 pounds. Then I went on YouTube and I made a video. I said, look, man, like Dev's gained some weight. I told her I'm putting her on dick detention until she loses that 7 pounds and gets down to 128 pounds. She did it in 6 days, right? And she's been there ever since. Then, of course, there's a girl, Joy Isabel, who came out and, oh my God, I can't believe Donovan Sharp, blah, 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 blah. Look, man, check this out. The way it works is this, guys. Pardon me. Your woman must adhere to your standards. This begins and ends with the man. You can't get mad that your girlfriend went from 100. Have you guys seen this new trend where women are putting pictures of themselves? I was a size 6 or I was a size 4 when I met my boyfriend. Now I'm Jabba the Hutt. And they're actually proud of this. It's incredible that American women are bragging about the fact that they have gained weight when they used to be hot. Listen, guys, this is a direct indictment on men in America. Don't get me wrong, man. We know feminism is the scourge of the earth, but goddamn, we're doing after and before pictures now? Dude, there is absolutely no way. I'm going to go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is one of the things that, men listen to women for some particular reasons.
Jesus.
I mean, I've been there in my life. I realized that was a fail. Once I start managing women and directing them, you can't listen to them.
Yep.
Because anything that they are trying to get is to make it easier for them to be worse at.
Yep.
All right.
There
So
you go.
whatever they want from you, they want to be able to be bad at it, and they want you to be able to be on board with it. So now, to the point now that a generation of boys are waking up, millennials and Gen Z boys are waking up to their girlfriends, posting on TikTok, I got hot for you and I bait and switched you. Now I'm fat as hell.
Right.
And these young boys don't know what was before this. This would be never something a woman would celebrate because of the competitive landscape of dating and marriage. But now there's no competitive landscape.
Right.
There is, you accept me now, and then I get to trade you in later.
That's
It
right.
is what it is.
And of course, Myron Gaines caught a bunch of heat for mentioning the whole, competition anxiety. Oh my God, you're giving girls anxiety to try to get them to do X, Y, and Z. Listen, man, just because anxiety is in it does not mean it is a clinical definition of competition anxiety. Women in America will do and characterize whatever they have to get out of being held accountable, man. And that's really all there is to it. Okay, we're going to read off some super chats. We're going to do another round of questions. We're actually going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. 516-386-1987. I'm sorry, 516-387-1987. 516-387-1987. Is it fair when women lose weight and lose their men? Is it fair that they just jump the shark when they go from 230 to 130? Phone lines are open now. Jimmy in Dallas, $5 super chat says, that isn't fair. Life isn't fair. Neither is the sexual marketplace. Totally agree. Isidore Calderon, $5 says, make her lose weight as a part of the process before you commit. Got that from an amazing book on building from the ground up. Yeah, that was my 5-part, 7-hour audio course, how to build a quality woman from the ground up. Just a quick correction there. I would never, ever put a woman in my training program, in my coaching program, if she's not physically ready. You got to be, and a lot of guys like to say, well, girls like to wait around at the finish line and fuck the winners. Okay, listen, as bad as we may think that is, we're not trying to get with a fat chick who's on her weight loss journey. If I'm going to stick my dick in a chick, she is already going to be physically where she needs to be. I'm not trying to work on anybody's weight loss. Mayenga, I can't pronounce that first name. $8 Australian dollar says bait and switch at its finest. Shout out to Uncle Guns. Welcome to chat privileges, as well as Maury. King Life $10 says this is why you only pay attention to her once she has lost the weight. Anytime before that, she will look down on you. Young and retired, no cap. $5 says reciprocity is not in a woman's vocabulary. Dealing with them is like playing a video game with saving progress disabled. They forget what you did for them. Let me start. We're gonna go in the same order. I'm gonna go CGA, BOA, HOTEP, and then EO. In your opinion, CGA, let's flip the genders, okay? Let's say a woman gets with a man when he is not high value, right? She saw a little bit of potential in him, and we hear about this stuff all the time. She saw a little bit of potential in him, decided to jump in on the ground floor. He becomes successful, and he trades her in for a newer model. What are your thoughts on that? Is it fair, not fair? Should he handle that differently? How should a guy like that handle this?
Well, that's male hypergamy. I mean, that's basically what men do.
Hypogamy?
Yeah, I mean, this is his ability to basically get the best possible woman that he can at his peak level. But that's just the marketplace today. I think people have done it in the past, and men paid a penalty for doing that, starting excessive families, and then the courts just finally said, we're gonna penalize you so you don't go out there and start another family. You're gonna pay for the one that you have.
Right.
This is when they would go sleep with the secretary and start a family with them. They was like, nah, no more of that. Your ass gonna pay. So, but I think it just depends on who the woman is. So we put it in the light on the opposite side that he was aiming low, and then she resented that.
Okay.
So the man's gonna eventually figure out if he raises his status in his stock, this woman won't be able to represent him fairly in a competitive landscape out in the marketplace. Right. So if I'm taking my wife to work, well, who's the woman? If she's an obese woman, or if she's too plain, or she's ghetto or reckless, well, she stayed around to help me build up. But now that I'm here and I got to introduce you to clients, well, you're not gonna work out. All right. You don't have the tact or the ability to express yourself, or not express yourself in the right moments. You're not going to work. It's just how it goes, man. Look, man. Hey, I think that people misunderstand what class is. All right. There are separate classes in this society that leave people out based on whether they're willing to go from one class to the other in terms of what the other class of people expect. I really think that people assume that you were with me down here, or we share the same color, or we come from the same religion, that we're all the same. No. When I move up here, your quality, just because we share a certain quality before, doesn't mean that qualifies you once I move to a different echelon. And I'm trying to move up echelons around this motherfucker. I ain't trying to be out here with no communita queen, and then I move up class, and that broad ruins everything that I can because I bring her around my people. That's just the way it goes.
Interesting. And before I go to BOA, man, I remember on your show, dude, I watch you twice a day. CGA.
Too much. That's too much.
Yeah, dude, I watch you all the time.
Too much time together.
Dude, I'm telling you what, man. Yo, you had me dying over those gorditas, man. That was crazy. But I remember you actually, I think it was either that show or the show before, where you were talking about the fact that just because a woman looks good enough, that doesn't necessarily mean that she can run in the circles that you run, you know? Like, listen, you have to be able to take your girl to the office Christmas party or the country club or whatever class of friends, whatever kinds of people that you are. Now, a lot of people might say, well, listen, if you love her, then you shouldn't care. Well, guess what? This ain't about love, man. For me, this is about a woman who matches up with you. I'm sure she puts it down in the bedroom, but that doesn't mean that she can roll with you in certain situations. What are your thoughts on that?
I think people got it real messed up with this love thing. We see love as an excuse to manipulate, or allow somebody to manipulate you, to abuse you, or you abuse that person, or to basically defile you. And people will use love for any particular reason. Yes, and most of the reasons are dumb as hell. Well, I was in love, or I did this because of love. Hey, you know what? It doesn't make sense because we don't operate in that function out in the regular world. Now, guys have tried to figure this out, and now women now figured it out, where one woman can't serve all functions. So there
Right.
is a woman that I need in a freak, but I don't need to introduce her to my clients. I need this woman to
There you
introduce
go.
to my clients. I need this woman to be the freak. And when you go and understand that in the real world, nobody else cares about your love, then you can actually function in the realities of what is.
Yeah.
I want to function in the realities of what is, because I don't want to have a fat wife just
No.
because I have an appeal. I like fat women appeal to me, but I can't go out here in the real world and introduce her to the world.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. It's something you can't do, and you're going to lose credibility over that.
That's right.
But you got love. Which one is it going to be, man? I think guys are reckless when they prioritize love over everything else, because you're going to lose ultimately everywhere else, and you're going to lose with that woman.
Yeah, right, exactly, because she knows she didn't belong in those circles. She's like, what the hell is this dude actually doing? Someone in the chat said hypogamy. So, for all you science nerds out there, something that is hyperallergenic means it's very allergenic. Something that is hypoallergenic is the opposite of that. So hypergamy, hypogamy, the opposite, sort of a play on words. I guess I was nerding out there. BOA. Your thoughts. Guy and a girl get together, and you see this happen a lot with professional athletes. He has a girlfriend in high school, maybe in college. He, Mr. First Round draft pick, NBA, NFL, pick a sport. He gets to that next contract. He signs an 8-year, $140 million contract. He's set for a million generations. He upgrades the wife, right? Either that or he takes on a side chick. What are your thoughts on guys who exercise options or even actually replace their loyal wives? Do you think that's right, wrong, or is that just the game?
My take on it is this, man. Every woman in your life plays a position.
That's right.
The higher the level you rise, the more positions you have.
Okay.
And so you're going to come to a point where there's going to be a position that the woman you have, she just can't play that position. And you shouldn't want her to play that position. It's unfair for a man to expect, there's that word, unfair. It's unfair for you to expect your woman to play all of those different positions. But we live in a society that says, you just got to have one woman. The hell I do. I'm going to have a woman to play every position. Now, we call them side chicks and main chicks and all that. I feel like this, man. You need a helpmeet and a freak. Like CJ said, you need a helpmeet, a freak, and then you need an arm piece. You need a piece that goes in and represents the level of success that you've attained. Now, here's the thing. You can't control an environment until you're in a position with the men who dominate the environment.
Right.
So it's a big difference in going into a corporate meeting where you're trying to get some funding as opposed to going into that same corporate meeting where you have made everybody a lot of money in there.
Wow, that's a great
See what I'm
point,
saying?
man.
You walk in the building,
yeah.
then now you can kind of play by your own rules. I'll give you a perfect example. Master P, once he got to the point where he was, worth $300, $400 million, he was able to walk into a business meet with army fatigues on and a
Boom.
no-limit tank.
There you go.
A chain hanging around his neck. Why? Because everybody said, hey, Mr. Miller. He wasn't Master P the rapper. He was Mr. Miller.
Percy Miller, yeah.
And as we build ourselves into this society, our women don't even matter. They matter behind closed doors as she buys into the process of your progress.
Whew.
Now, here's another thing. All the woman that you take anywhere with you has to do is match your energy.
That's right.
The people in the building, the people you're interacting with, they know your energy. They respect your energy. They appreciate your energy. They embrace your energy. All the bra got to do is match your energy. So no, you can't take a hood rat to a function with some millionaires. But you also can't take a square bra to a function in the hood. You
Okay,
understand what I'm
all
saying?
right, I got you.
So you base the women you have in your life based on the environments that you need to be in. And hey, sometimes you don't need to have a woman in that until you need to, like CJ said, man, get your freak on. You know what I'm saying? But I say this, man, in all seriousness, it is just the way it goes. When
That's
you
right.
make more money, let's use your example, Donovan.
Okay.
You're a college player. You ain't making no money. You know what I'm saying? You're about to start to now, but
Yeah.
you're not making any money. You get that contract, first round contract, your life changes.
Right.
Your residence changes. Your bank account changes. What you drive changes. The way your mom lives changes.
Yep.
It's just not realistic to expect you to carry that same broad into that life because she's not going to be able to make the adjustment. Steph Curry's wife is a perfect example.
Yep.
Look at all the shit she's doing. Now she's got this perfect life, and she's mad because she doesn't get attention.
Yep.
Because she's not used to being on the level where you don't get attention. You live a lifestyle that motherfuckers envy. Instead of, I need a man to, somebody didn't say I got a big butt or something. Hey, man, look, I say this. The broad got to do whatever you tell her to do.
That's right.
If she can't fit into the position you put in, man, she got to get in where she fit in, or she get out. Period.
Listen, Ayesha Curry, she's got it made. And to me, she is the quintessential example of a woman who has it too good, because she knew Stephen Curry. I think, as far as I know, she knew Stephen Curry back when he was at Davidson with the jersey hanging off of him. I could be wrong, but she's been with him for a while. And now all of a sudden she's doing thirst trapping pictures and all this other kind of stuff. And you're like, yo, Stephen Curry, a lot of people don't realize this, he's the highest paid player in NBA history. Man, the dude makes $40 million a season. What more is there for Ayesha Curry? I don't know. I will never understand that. I'll never understand.
One more thing, Don.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You got it.
The Wall is undefeated.
Yes, it is.
So as we rise higher and get into our prime, and I researched this for years. Our prime is 45 to 60.
Real talk.
You got plenty of money. You should have plenty of money. You're still young and fly enough to wear fly clothes. You know, you've got a pretty much unlimited age range of women you attract.
Oh, yeah.
And what about the woman who you went to high school with and you still with her? Now you're 40. She's 40. You're 45. She's 45. Come on, bruh. She cannot fit into the role that you need her to fit in because her mind, her psyche is changing about herself. And I'm going to be honest with you. Paid me, I'm humble. But paid me is a whole lot more cocky than broke me. I can tell you that shit now.
Good stuff, man. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this too. And I'm going to come to Hotep with this. If the genders were reversed, let's say a guy and it sounds weird, but we always say the more money a woman earns, the less attractive she is, the less attracted she is to her husband, right? If a woman makes more than a man, she is biologically predisposed to be repulsed by him. It's not something she wants to do. It's not a character flaw. That's just how it is. That's just sort of a manifestation of this jacked up society. So Hotep, you've got a few startups, right? Like you're obviously a very smart guy, entrepreneurial. At some point, you are going to be worth well into the seven figures. I'm not trying to get you in any trouble here, but what are your thoughts on your current relationship?
So we'd have to refer back to the question, right?
Okay.
So it's like, let's say you was down, right?
Yeah.
You was down bad. You was out of shape and your stock didn't look too good. It didn't look like a stock you would bet on.
Right.
And she bet on that stock. Say, you know what, baby, I'm with you. I'm riding with you. And you get better at some point and your stock start to rise. First of all, I gotta take my hat off to her for rocking with you when you was down, right, and knowing how to pick a good stock. Okay?
Okay.
Now the next thing I'm concerned with is get rid of her. You might get rid of your bottom bitch.
Okay.
You gonna need somebody to stash the hammer, and she might be the one. See, these new bitches, they might not stash the hammer. You know what I'm saying? You might need one that's gonna not testify. If she been through all the bad, I think she deserves to reap some of the good. That doesn't mean she's the only one that's gonna reap some of the good.
Right.
She might have to share. But I think it would be in your worst interest to get rid of your bottom bitch.
Okay. All right. Very good. I'm the only one on the screen. My other phone overheated, so I've got to let that cool off. EO, what are your thoughts? Now, you're a guy clearly, or I don't know, you seem like a guy who's always had money, right? So you're always going to have women coming in and out. So what are your thoughts? Let's say a good friend of yours, you guys have known each other since you were kids, whatever the case may be. He has a middle school, high school. He marries his high school sweetheart. He sells his company and he makes it's like an 8-figure windfall. And he comes to you, he's like, yo, Everett, man, like me and Teresa been together since we were like 14, 15 years old. But like I'm seeing these younger women out here. I mean, but I feel sort of a sense of I kind of owe her because she's been with me forever. She was with me when I was broke, when I was poor. She was ride or die. So is it fair for me to leave her, or should I stay with her out of obligation? What would you tell him?
All right. So every man needs to be forward thinking, meaning he should know where he's going to be next year. He should know where he's going to be in 2 years. Now, it could change a bit. It may not go exactly the way you planned it, but it's your responsibility to be grooming your woman where the two of you will be in 2 years.
Okay.
You don't just live in the present with her, you live in the future with her. And so you're always like giving her like indications as to what the lifestyle is going to be like 6 months,
Right.
12 months, 16 months. And men don't get what they want because they don't know what they want and they don't tell the woman what they want. That's why they don't know what they want. So, it's pretty simple, but complicated. Here's the thing. You better know what you want. If I'm talking to a woman and I know that I'm going to want extracurricular sex or a PM chick or a network chick, I always say you got AM chicks. Those are the chicks that see daylight.
Yep.
And you got PM chicks who see nothing but 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. That's all they see.
Wow, that's solid.
So so AM and PMs, and then you got somewhere in between. You got the Netflix and chill chick if you feel like it's a movie. So you got her for that, and then you got the networking chick because she can work a room with you and she follows good instructions and like all the other men said, she's pretty to have on your arm. And so I don't go with women for love anyway. I don't really believe in that. It's got to make sense for us to be together. So I would tell my friend, I would say, hey, it's your responsibility to groom your woman for the future. And it's your future. She's part of the ride. Okay, it's your future. She's part of the experience.
Right.
Now, if at some point she finds this experience to be unenjoyable and she's rebelling against it, well, it's time to make a decision. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So say this to men, it's your responsibility to know exactly what you want for yourself first. I already know where I'm gonna be in 2 years.
Okay.
I know what my life's gonna look like, my home's gonna look like, my cars, my business, my woman, my pets, my yard. I know how I'm gonna relax on the weekends. I know everything because I build my reality. This is my reality, and I create it. And so if I'm gonna have a woman with me, she has to buy into and believe in that reality also. And if I see, and also here's the other thing.
Okay.
You can groom a woman to find you women.
Ooh,
If you're that dude,
yes,
look, you gotta look dope, you gotta talk dope, you gotta have your money together. I mean, big money. Now, and I'm not saying big money for her. I'm saying big money for you.
That's right.
Okay. If you're that guy that she feels lucky to be with, see, here's the thing: women have to feel lucky to be with you, and they're like, I'm never gonna get another shot like this.
That's right.
There is not another man like this. And so, if he wants something, I may not like it, but I'll deliver it to him. And here's the thing: a man with game though will talk her, seduce her mind into being happy with giving him what he wants. So that's my take on that.
Okay, good stuff. Let me get you guys well, I'll tell you guys what I'm gonna do, right? So you guys know, Dev and I were, I guess a veritable power couple. So I don't know the future. I don't know what the future holds. I can say that I do love Devin very much. And sometimes I wish I didn't because, listen, I'm human. And I think sometimes that can cloud my judgment. And of course, obviously I'm a much different person now at 43 than I was when I met her back when I was 38, 39 years old. As of right now, what I plan on doing is if we do decide to go our separate ways, if I decide to say, you know what, it's been a nice run, it's been a good run, it's time for me to move on. I'm going to make sure that she is financially taken care of. And a lot of people might say, oh, you're a simp. Listen, say whatever you want, but and I always say this: I don't need Devin. I like having her in my life. She's good company. She helps me with my business, but by the same token, she is extremely beneficial to me. When I met her, I was already Donovan Sharp, but I was not what I am now. Well, I am where I am now in some small part because of her. I'd have gotten to this point with or without her. She just allowed me to get here a little bit quicker. And because of that, because she has been studiously by my side, and it's not like I feel like I'm obligated. I don't have any sort of contract. Me as a man, I feel like, you know what? Okay, listen, I've decided to move on. I'm going to make sure that you are taken care of, just to sort of, just as a thank you for, hey, this is a great 5, 6, 7, whatever years we had in our life. And that's what we're going to do. So let me ask you, I'm going to go the same order. I'm going to go CGA, BOA, HOTEP, and then EO. What are your thoughts on a man? Do you think a man is doing that out of fairness, or do you think a man is just doing that to clear his conscience?
Well, there's several ways to look at it. I don't think that's simpish for doing so if you choose to do it, right? I think if she says you must do it, and then there might be a misunderstanding about what her place is. Right. Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me, right?
Yeah. I said I wish a bitch would.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so there was the girl that said that out of obligation. Oh, he must do that. Well, no, I don't have to do that, but I could do it because the biggest thing that women do invest, other than that peace leave, that piping hot, fresh piece of sweet potato pie. All right. Other than that, what they do invest is a portion of time that they can't get back, which they have a small window to invest in. So when they do find a guy, they're giving up in theory their earlier years, their fertility, and what's going to happen is, I'm just following up on what Hotep said, there's a place for her.
Yes.
If she wants to still ride. All right. BOA was talking about it too. Look, there's a place for you. It just ain't gonna be, prime time. Like EO says, look, you can be my PM. You ain't gonna see the light of day. You know what I mean? Like take it or leave it. But this is what I'm offering you. You do know where the dead bodies are, you know where the stash are. There you go. I'll take care of it. So there is a place. Like, I wouldn't consider you a simp by saying I would take care of that. That's just not an obligation. But it's just, it ain't even fair. But that's what you're willing to do because she can provide something of value to you. If she's worthless, then I would say why?
Yeah, of course.
If she has some sort of worth, you can keep her around and you can be like, all right, look, just you my Monday and Tuesday now. Go have your apartment over there, and then all them junior college girls coming over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't bother me. I mean, there's a place, but not a lot of women will keep that place, and that's their decision. That's their decision.
Yeah, listen, I will say this. The one caveat to that, like, if she cheats her way out, no, she's not getting a fucking dime from me, right? Like, I already know that. And it's funny because if Dev were to ever say, hey, Donovan, I think it's time for us, well, then I know she's been fucking somebody else for ever how long. And all right, listen, we'll go our separate ways, and that'll be that. But if I decide to end the relationship, I think I'd feel very good about making sure she was taken care of. BOA, what are your thoughts on a man taking care of a woman who's been with him for X amount of years because maybe it's a sense of loyalty? What are your thoughts on that? Or do you have any changes to make of that, rather?
With me, man, my guys and I, we deal with women based on pimp principles. Now, I'm not saying we put them on a corner and do all that. Nah, we don't do all that. These women have careers. And now you take a woman from a corporate office and say, now go work the corner. No, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the principles of engagement with these women who have value to bring.
Right.
So if a woman is in my life, like, she has no choice but to throw herself into whatever the hell it is I'm doing, because I tell my guys all the time, don't worry about starting a business until you develop the business that is your life. So when a woman is in your life, that's your original business. She is a worker in the business that is your life. And if your life grows because of her contribution, it is only fair. The same way you would do any other employee,
there you go,
that you give her a decent severance package if she deserves that. Now, I give you some examples. Michael Jordan, he was worth $300 million. Boys went off to college. He said, okay, Juanita, you're old news now.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna give you half of this. When you ain't got to fight me in court. I'm worth $300 million. Here's your $150.
That's right. That's
She's
exactly
worth
what
$170 now.
Yep.
He's worth over $1 billion.
Right.
Jeff Bezos, richest man in the world.
That's right.
You know what he did? He said, okay, look, I think she's hotter than you. I want her, but I'm going to leave you in a situation where you can't even argue or debate or go to court or anything. I'm going to give you these many shares of the company. You'll never be broke. Boom. You'll be a billionaire forever. You'll never be broke.
Right.
That's just what you do if you're a man who's moving in the direction you want to move in your life. Now, that's if you decide you just don't want the woman in your life anymore in any type of intimate capacity. If you do, then that's a totally different ball game. You put her off to the side and say, okay, this is our space. This is my space. See her over there? That's our space. The thing that guys don't do is live openly honest about their lives.
Right.
You don't have issues to overcome if you just let women know what their position is in your life.
There you go.
Women get upset and this woman scorn thing happens in your life
Oh,
when you
please.
don't tell the woman what her position is, and you have her living this, dedicating herself to some shit that she'll never get. Oh yeah, you got trouble on your hands. So I think, man, if the woman deserves it, you give her that. I tell my guys all the time, everything you give her, make sure she earns it. If
That's
she
right.
earns it, make sure you're a good boss and you pay her well.
You know, it's interesting. I've never thought of it that way, but you use the perfect word, severance package. And I guess that's probably what I was thinking, because I was thinking I'm not doing this because to me, it's just, hey, she's put in now 2 years of work. She's helped me grow the business. So if I decide to, cut her loose, or if I tell her, hey, listen, we're going to change, we're going to do some lineup changes here. All right, you don't want to be a part of the team? No problem. I'll get you a little severance package and you'll be off and running. But that makes perfect sense. I don't know why I never even thought of that concept, but that's exactly what that is. To me, that's a severance package. I don't think that's any sort of divorce agreement or any sort of alimony. Hotep, what are your thoughts on, because I think you've been with your woman for quite a while. If you and her were to go your separate ways, again, this is the mother of your children, does she do enough for you now to warrant a severance package, or is this just a one-man show? Without giving away too much.
She good forever. She good forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was locked down and she came and got a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So
Okay, I'm with you.
I judge a woman by how fast does she come at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you already know.
When you down at Central Booking, does she pick up that phone? You know what I mean? So, you always take care of those. You always take care of those.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You always take care of your ride or die chicks.
Right.
And yeah, I believe that. I think a lot of the problems men have with women is they not paying them what they worth.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways.
That's right.
Sometimes you overpaying your chick.
That's right. And that's the
Right?
case most of the time. Most guys are overpaying their chick. I mean, we're not talking about actually giving her money. This is in the way of time, attention, resources.
Yeah.
Most guys are giving her way too much, which is why most women
So
are.
then when the split happens,
There
they
you go.
come for the whole boat.
Because
You
they
like,
think they're
wait, hold
entitled
up.
to it.
I've been taking care of you. Yeah, you've been overpaying. So I'm gonna keep on, overcharging you. But when you pay her what she's worth, and give her the lifestyle that she's worth,
Yeah.
you can tend to keep things amiable, because they talk about a woman scoring. You definitely don't want no woman scoring. But if you've been controlling her right, throughout the relationship and things part, you should have no problem after the relationship dissolves.
Good.
In fact, I don't even think it's a dissolving of the relationship. It's an evolution of the
Okay.
relationship.
All right. I'll go with that.
It's another phase of the relationship.
I'll tell you this too, man.
because when you leave them, they always come back.
Well, that of course that's for another episode. I think when you make a woman earn everything she gets from you, if there is a split up, she's not going to come and try to take everything, because you've already trained her in her mind. Hey, you're not going to get anything you don't deserve. So when and if you guys ever do split up, she's not going to feel entitled to anything, because she has worked for everything she's gotten. EO, what are your thoughts on this? On this severance package conversation that we're having? Do you agree? Disagree? Any caveats to add?
No, I do agree. There's been women that I've known that I've actually pushed to marry other men when I was done with them.
Wow.
Like I literally
Wow.
like groomed them for marriage with another man.
Wow, dude, that is
Because
peak game.
because I was done with them. And then so I pretty much was telling them that I'm done. I'm not going to marry you. I told you from the beginning I wasn't going to marry you. See, like, men have to like look at a woman. See what you get at the beginning, unless she's coachable. That's what you're going to
Yes.
get. That's what she's going to be forever. She ain't changing much from that.
Right.
So and stop trying and stop thinking she can change much from that, unless you're a fantastic coach. But even then, it's a headache. I mean, grooming a woman from scratch, it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. Do you want to do that? So here's the thing, guys. It's like, first of all, there is something to be said about being honorable when you invite a woman into your life? Like,
Right.
does she have skills? If she doesn't
Yes.
have a skill set, if she just gonna be there for looks, I mean, then she's very short term, and you let her know that she's short term.
There you go.
If she's good on the internet, for example, you said Devin website, if
She's
she
a
got
wizard.
the apps working,
Yeah, she's a
so
wizard on
she's
that
more
stuff.
valuable to the business. So she has a higher position based on her value.
That's right.
And so I always say that the woman has to do at least, I would say, 3 things for me before I reward her with one thing. So she got to do 3 things for one thing. Here's the other thing: make sure you deal with women that actually like you as a man. Like, they like you. It's not so they like what you do too, and it's intriguing and exciting and all that stuff. But even when you're not even talking business, how does she feel and look at you, the man? When you walk to the refrigerator and get a drink out the fridge, is she in awe watching you walk to the fridge?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
these are the things to look for. Like, this woman is head over heels in love with me. And so, and that's a woman that you can have around forever. I mean, she'll be there forever, man. I mean, quite frankly, some of these women you can have around forever if you want them there.
Yeah.
So I'll just say this. Yeah. I mean, if you're rewarding accordingly, if she's doing 3 things for you, you reward her, I say you're pretty much even. Now, if you're going to end the relationship and you want to give her something on the way out because that's what you want to do, then no one should tell you otherwise. But if you reward along the way in equal proportion to the
Yes.
value that she gave you,
Yes.
you really don't owe that broad anything.
No, listen, I totally agree. What it comes down to, and EO, you've explained this perfectly. It comes down to a value exchange. If a woman doesn't offer you anything of value, then there's no need to keep her around that long. But in the end, but guys also have to understand is that there are women of value out there. There are women that could elevate your life. You want to know something? They need to get a return on their investment too. It's not all take and no give. So I think a lot of guys need to understand that. All right, we're gonna leave it there, guys. Just wanted to keep this one high and tight. I'm surprised nobody wanted to call in, but hey, we had a skeleton crew today, nonetheless. So let us go around the panel. Tell the people where they can find you. CGA, lead us off.
Find me on YouTube, Coach Greg Adams. I got like 700 channels on there, me doing various things, but find me there. And then where else could you find me? Oh, any podcast, Spotify, Google, Apple, Anchor, anything, man. Find me there. Coach Greg Adams.
Coach
Look
Greg
me up.
Adams, all over the place. Good stuff. BOA, man.
Man, you can find me on YouTube, of course. Book of Alpha Running Me, Dr. BOA. You can also find me on my High Altitude channel, King Ray Ray Show,
Okay.
and find me on IG.
Okay, good stuff.
Hold on, what the hell is my IG?
Hold on. I
Underscore
think I can
Alpha
find it
Running Me. There you go.
Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I had it right because here. Yes. Oh, yes. Book _of _Alpharonomy.
Right.
There we go.
And
Good
so
stuff, man.
That's about it, man.
Hotep, tell the people where they can find you, brother.
Soon I'll be interviewing Alex Jones at the InfoWars studio. Yeah.
Wow.
Early August. So look out for that.
That's gonna be crazy, dude. Holy
yeah,
shit. Man.
we're doing a sit down style, intimate, and I'll be interviewing him. And
wow, Alex
it's gonna
Jones.
get
Damn.
yeah, it's gonna get pretty lit. We've been planning this for a while now.
Okay. Good.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hotep Jesus, or go to hotepjesus.com. 3-time author, so you can get one of my books,
You know it.
or all 3, or 2 of 3, what have you. Hotepjesus.com.
Very good, man. BrianSharp.co as well. I think it's another website.
Yeah, it redirects. Yeah.
Good. Oh, okay. All right. Good stuff. You have somebody who knows what they're doing. EO, where can the people find you, man?
Yes, sir. Coach EO on YouTube. A few good series I'm running right now. Killing the Simp, which is real popular right now.
Yeah, that's a good
And I'm
series,
also
man.
doing, it's a good one. People seem to like it. And then Player Month. I might give you an extended back into August where I give player tips on how to have a little bit more player vibe swag to you
Okay.
with your lingo and your presentation. Also, championgamecoaching.com is my website. You can book a session with me or sessions. You can also buy my first book, which is titled Cut the Bullshit. It's on my website. It's also find it on Amazon. Second book coming out late summer. It's going to be a heck of a book. It's in production. And then also I'm on Instagram at Coach EO _champion game.
Good stuff, man. That is going to do it for this edition of The Seven. Hopefully, we'll have all of our guys back. Yeah, Jordan Price says, "Damn it, I missed the podcast," but no problem, no problem at all, man. You can always watch it on the replay. That's gonna do it, guys. We'll see you next week.